It is day 59 of 75 hard. Let's go. Hey there. They say that having a pet helps you age better. More joy, less stress, better health. And we just adopted like a 200-pound Great Dane. And I haven't had time to read the research on it this week because I am. But let me just tell you that I am aging with a lot more drool and a lot more joy this week. One of my favorite things to do in life is to be an ambassador for the Chamber of Commerce. And I'm going to talk about connecting in the community sometime in a whole video, but because I think it's really important as we age to do that. But this week we had a ribbon cutting at a new pet boarding place in town. And I don't know, I mentioned to them that I had a Great Dane and they're like, oh, we're fostering 2 Great Danes here. And I'm like, oh. So they took me back. One of them is going to Arizona, but the other boy, who was bigger, was just there in this tiny little room. And I totally did a dog deal via text with my husband while we were waiting to do the ribbon cutting. And then I went in and I got him and took him home after work that day. It was crazy. He was not used to being in a car, and he headbutted me twice, and he kept trying to get in the front seat. And so I never prayed so much or so loud in my whole life, because we have one way to get to work, and it's a curvy, windy road. So I'm just thinking, if I have to slam on my brakes or slow down to go around a corner or whatever, this dog's gonna come flying through the windshield. Anyway, we made it home. We made it home safely, and then more chaos ensued because he was like wild, and I was thinking, holy moly, what have I done? I've made a big mistake. So Friday at work, I waited till about noon. My husband works at home on Fridays, and I said, hey, how are the dogs doing? Thinking the worst. Oh, they're doing great. Mostly they're just sleeping. I was like, really? That's amazing, because I thought I had made a big mistake. And now that he's been in the house with us for a couple of days, getting used to the other dogs, he's great. He's so fun, and he's so sweet, and he's so big. I haven't walked here before where I've done a video, only a short video. So I'm coming up on this little waterfall situation. Yeah, let me show you. But really, the science says that having a dog, it's good for your mental acuity and your memory, because you have to get them into a routine, a daily routine of feeding them and letting them out and all that stuff. It's good for your noggin. Check this. That was your 10-second waterfall interlude. Anyway, it's also good for loneliness and isolation because you have somebody there with you all the time. And that's amazing. I was watching, this is probably mean, I was watching this video of these women, and they were sisters, and they moved in together. And I was like, I can't imagine living with my sister. Why didn't she just get a dog, right? And a dog, anyway, is going to give you unconditional love, which is going to help you have less stress, and you're just going to feel better from that. I've had this boy for 3 days, and I can tell he already loves me. It's amazing. And I love him. He's really great. Also, the petting of a dog, it also relieves stress, and it activates that feel-good hormone, oxytocin, I think it's called. Yeah, so this boy, he's not even his biggest. He looks heroin chic, he's like super skinny. He wants to sit on my lap, and he thinks he's a little dog. It's hilarious. But yeah, I pet him a lot. He's real soft. He's got big flappy ears. He's different from our other Great Dane quite a bit. It makes me think that my other Great Dane, which is only about 130 pounds, he's big, but he's nowhere near as big as this boy. And I'm thinking, maybe you're not a purebred German, of a purebred Great Dane. So those are some mental and emotional benefits, but what about physical benefits? So they say that having an animal, a pet, I feel like I'm speaking just about dogs here, because I'm not sure if you'd get the same kind of, benefits from having, say, a bearded dragon. My granddaughter has a bearded dragon, and he's cute, but you can't just you have to let him out. You don't have to do all the things. Anyway, they say that having a pet will lower your blood pressure and your cholesterol, and also just the mere act of letting them in and letting them out in the day will get you more exercise just because you have to get up and move, right? Caring for something gives you a purpose and it keeps you mentally engaged, right? And we cannot forget the laughter. I'm big on that. And animals are funny. I have another whole YouTube channel that I made when we had cows and chickens, and it is just funny stuff. I get subscribers on it daily because people like laughing at that. How many, be honest, you watch cat videos, don't you? Yeah. So laughter. Yesterday, I was getting ready for the day, and we have our sinks in the bathroom are on the hallway, and then the bathroom is after that. And Chuck, we're calling him Chuck, he started puppifying himself, and he's tearing down the hallway and tearing into the bedroom and dancing around on the dog beds and coming back through, and I just flattened myself against the wall. I'm terrified because he's like a big puppy. Very big, very strong, but he made me laugh. He's funny. And then last night he just sat right on my husband's lap. Okay, dude, you are big, you're not a lap dog. Very funny. You don't need a pet to work out with you. You just need one that makes you feel alive. We do not work out with our pets. I used to have a dog named Boo Boo, and he had a walking profile on the walking app too, just like we did. But I feel like I broke him, we walked far and he would just come right along with us. And these boys, our other two dogs, are 7 and 8. And like I said, one is a Great Dane, and I worry about his lifespan not being as long as Frankie. He's a Rotador. He'll probably live forever because he's naughty. And so you just need something to help you feel alive. Aging happy doesn't just mean being strong. It means being fulfilled, satisfied, emotionally full and happy. We just want to be happy, right? I think it's achievable. There is no shame in stillness. I watch the dogs and they're spread across the couch. Honestly, I'm not sure if all 5 of us fit on the couch anymore, but they're just lounging. And there's joy in stillness too. Joy in, wow, I love these dogs. They love me. It's awesome. So you don't need to start big. Just like everything, I feel like I got the K9 version of 75 hard and a 50K in him. And you don't have to start big. Just like I tell you in every other video, start where you are, If you want a dog or a cat, it doesn't have to be a big one. A big cat in your house might be interesting. We've seen them on the game cam. But yeah, you don't need to start small. You don't need to get a Great Dane. Just get somebody. They're kind of somebody, aren't they? They're members of the family. That makes you feel joy. Aging well starts with adding something to your day that makes you feel better. So you can feel free to start small. Get a cat. Get a goldfish. A hamster. I feel like the loving and petting is a good part of the whole thing. The whole thing that science talks about pet being helpful for aging. So maybe a goldfish would work, but you can start small. Just because I went big doesn't mean you have to.
Time, 20 minutes, 27 seconds. Total distance, 1.0 miles. Average pace, 20 minutes, 26 seconds per mile. Split pace, 20 minutes, 26 seconds per mile.
All right, that's our update. And I want to know if you have an animal that helps you to stay connected and be joyful. Tell me in the comments what you have. You know, are they a dog? Are they a cat? What breed? What's their name? My boys are Frankie G, Wes Lee, and now Chucky B. And yeah, they're great. They're so awesome. So I'm finished today, and thanks for coming along. I'd love it if you follow my channel, subscribed. That's the right terminology. Subscribe to my channel, like it, tell people about it. I'm here to encourage you. And if there's anything you need encouragement with, put it in the comments. I'm happy to chat. Thanks, bye.